Every school day, thousands of children and teens from African refugee and immigrant backgrounds take their places at desks around the state. While some are confident and at home, many are stepping into a new language and culture, carrying high levels of stress and confusion as they try to make their way in a new world. We are the Center for African Immigrants and Refugees organization, CAIRO, and we make it our mission to engage, educate, and empower our community with hope, inspiring them to rise above the circumstances. Since our founding in 2014 and incorporation in 2016, our multifaceted program has set out to make life for our African community more understandable, especially for their children who are experiencing a major life shift as they enter the school years.
So the Space Agent stands for schools, parents, and communities engaged. So we work with schools and parents and communities at large, specifically the African community, to provide in-classroom support for African students. Most of the students I work with here are new to the system. The culture here is so much different from the cultural background where they come from. And there might be sometimes language barrier. So I'm just here to kind of support the teachers and the students and families about the cultural differences. I also try to help my students with behavioral issues, talk to the families, and try to have plans for my students to do better academically and behaviorally. I also help families with translation.
The interpretation services that we get with CAIRO I find to be really helpful in me being able to communicate my feelings and who I am and trying to build those relationships as opposed to just an exchange of information. There's a difference between translating and interpreting, and something I've really appreciated about the staff at CAIRO has been the interpretation and not just the translation, and that's helped, I think, navigate and cross bridges not only linguistically but also culturally.
Fatuma in particular is incredible, and we love having her here. Our students really admire her, and not only is she connecting with the student that she's assigned to in my classroom, she has also built relationships with the rest of my classroom, and they see themselves in her. They share a lot of cultural similarities that they don't see in me, and so to have a strong female representative in our classroom of something they identify with is really incredible. CAIRO bridges the gap for us and allows me to communicate in an easier way with my students and bridges the gap with our families. CAIRO talks with the family about the importance of education and clearly communicates the expectation of school and provides information about the family so that we can have a more cohesive relationship. It creates a sense of security for the student that there's somebody in the building who understands them, and I feel confident that my students' needs are being met, and the parents feel a sense of comfort that there's somebody who understands their child in the school. They provide in-classroom supports by translating complex topics for the student, also behavior needs. We've had our CAIRO support call home to just talk about school expectations and how those may be different from home. It's a world of a difference having them here.
Yeah, you can see how it really impacts trust. Parents feel more comfortable talking and having a person who can represent them or who can provide a support with language. And then building that trust, they really reach out not just about the concerns academically, but also other concerns that they might have with regards to work, childcare, or just understanding parenting children in the U.S., that it can be very different from their own cultures or countries. So you can see how families, they really, really appreciate having a person that they can talk to, and how that is the bridge of communication between teachers and families. And also working with the kiddos. The children really appreciate that, having a person sitting with them, helping them understand the language barriers and just all the different instructions. It can be very overwhelming for these children who are trying to integrate or who are new in the country. So having that support emotionally for them is so important, because they feel supported. They feel like someone is here to really protect them and create that empathy and compassion, and also advocate for these kiddos.
As our African youth grow and mature, we recognize the need to open up a new world of opportunity to them. Career pathways in science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics are rarely chosen within our African communities. We are determined to change that through our STEAM program. I am designing that program and implementing it, figuring out what it's going to be and how it's going to work. And basically, the intention is to make our students and our families feel successful, comfortable, and see themselves as full of potential in those topics: science, technology, engineering, math. The three kind of categories are either CAIRO-specific events and organized events like our summer activities that are coming up in the next few months, like our digital literacy classes, where we're going to be teaching people some basic computer skills and online safety, things like that, all the way to external opportunities that we share with our students. So there's a ton of free classes and camps, especially for students from marginalized communities, and so we share those opportunities with the students and get them signed up for things that other people are running. And then we also try to get students connected with career opportunities and connected to professionals who look like them, talk like them, and are in these STEM fields and can tell them about the career path into that kind of work and what that means.
Career-wise, I think that I want to get into the medical field. So I think like science and math is like a huge part of that. So
yeah, me too. I want to get into the medical field. So just like thinking about how we have to apply science and math, it makes me more interested in learning about it. So I feel like personally in the society that we live in now, I have more opportunities to get to wherever I want to get to.
I think like we got more privilege now and like more opportunities, and we know more people that can help us, like CAIRO and them, and they might be able to like tutor us and like help us with our needs like people didn't have in like my community.
We know our goals are ambitious, but we are determined to press forward, knowing that the outcomes are truly life-changing and multi-generational. Through CAIRO's work, we are seeing improved school attendance and grades with fewer disciplinary issues. Students and families feel they belong and have a voice. Children are able to reorient their perspectives to look towards success and know how to best express their needs and concerns in ways that school staff and teachers will listen to and respect. Parents become more engaged and empowered to share their concerns and cultural perspectives, leading to improved health and wellness. Learn more at www.cairopdx.org.